All right, everybody, welcome to the Bullet Chat podcast, the unofficial, unqualified, and undeniably unnecessary companion to the Silver Bullet Scramble. The Bullet was started by 12 guys in a keg of beer, and today is simply known as a great tournament at an affordable price. Somehow it is coming up on its fourth decade. Bullet Chat is hosted by three men with no broadcast training, no editing experience, Odie, Portley, and Sadie. We wanted our intro music to be My Sharona, but we can't afford the royalty fees. The hosts make no promises. We simply can't. No promises about audio quality, entertainment value, or facts. What you're about to hear is purely for fun. We have two rules. One, don't embarrass anybody, and two, don't end anyone's career.
Oh, look, Sadie, look,
Let's
we
have
found
some fun.
Portley.
Portley,
Where are you?
Portley.
I am in Florence, Oregon, site of my very first bullet victory. Whiffed off the first tee, and then ended up winning a bullet. Year 2000. Felt great.
What a great way to kick off today. So where are you actually sitting right now?
I'm at the Abby's Pizza, where we used to go after as well.
Yeah, that's a top 5 coastal pizza if I've ever had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right up there with.
It's a top 5 pizza.
I'm sure Sammy Wells ripped off this place in some way back in the day.
Is his picture up at the front door?
Yeah. Well, hey, Portley, welcome to the Bullet Chat podcast. We've missed you the first 2 episodes. We titled those Where the Fuck's Portley Part A and Where the Fuck's Portley Part B. So we're glad to have you here today. We'll probably call this episode We Found Portley.
I love it.
Obviously, we're going through the process of figuring out how to put together a podcast. Sadie's our chief engineer. Your role is obviously to bring story and humor, and I'll just try to help keep us on track. And how many beers is that today, Ports?
First beer.
All right, good start.
It's a 22 ouncer at least. Fort George IPA.
All right, and then how come you're down on the coast? Are you like traveling back from Bandon or something?
Yeah, I was down in Bandon, traveling back up to Portland. Got my birthday dinner tonight with Kathy.
Oh, wonderful. So what's your goal with this podcast? Where would you like to see it go?
I'd like to see us document some of the same old stories we've told over and over through the years. Had some questions on whether, is this family friendly, or do we go anywhere we want with it as we're going through this?
Last time we established 2 rules last time. It was don't embarrass anybody and don't end their career.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, we keep it simple. It's like standard old school EC, just simple rules.
I love it.
Right? Don't embarrass anybody. Don't cost anybody their career.
Unless they ask it for that.
Yeah. But for those who may be watching this,
if I give you the signal, it means I'm ready for my career to be done. And go ahead, have at it.
Yeah. Well, and for those who may be watching this, wives, girlfriends, someone else who happens to see it for the first time, we should probably start by just explaining, what is the bullet? Sadie, how would you describe the bullet? What is it?
Ooh. An accident. It was a happy accident. How's that?
That makes sense.
You think back to that first one. It was about this time of year. It was July, right? And we're all sitting around, home from college, bored, and somebody came up with the idea.
It's Casey.
Let's
Casey will certainly claim it.
Yeah, but give him credit. I was there. He claimed it. He did it.
So he can have it.
He can have it. Yeah. We had Arnie and Jack in the room, and Casey was the only one who knew something about golf.
So there were 2 good golfers and
an up-and-comer.
Okay golfers, and then the rest of us, I guess.
Yeah. Portley, Casey was great. Competitor, had fun, personable, hung out with us, drank some Coors Lights. Yeah, I remember Sadie and I in the back of his car one time coming back from Wankers when we took that old 217 corner at about 105, and we ended up out in the field next to I-5, and Casey what did he say? He said, what did he say, Sadie? He said, that feeling when you're that feeling when you're out of control, but you're actually in control. And you and I about beat the crap out of them.
Yeah. It was
To be not-
the Super Bowl night. Rain
That had to be a
and,
Corvette.
Thunderbird. It was a
Okay.
Thunderbird. 100 miles an hour going into a loop.
Yeah. Portley, I mean, explain to us, what's the Bullet? What is it?
I think it started out to be a golf tournament, but I think it's turned into a lifestyle after that. You think about the 50, 60 people who've all gotten together over the years, and you do everything together kind of outside the Bullet now. It's the Bullet crew has become your life crew. I hang out with some other people here and there, but 90% of who I hang out with are Bullet people. So it's become
And you're not
40
you're
years
not a
of
guy
friends.
who needs,
Yeah.
yeah, you're not a guy who needs a lot of friends outside of the Bullet crew, are you?
No, if I never met another new person in my life, I'd be perfectly happy. I don't need to meet anybody.
That's awesome.
The Bullet has all I need. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That
like
guy behind you
back,
looked nice.
yeah, back to Sadie's point. I mean, it started in an apartment, and it started with 12 guys going golfing, camping, and a keg of beer. Right? It
I
was
still
just,
don't understand how we pulled that together. I can't remember like life without cell phones, but somehow.
Well, there was a lot of misses. Like, what was it? Who was the guy that won it that one year? And just Dean? No,
oh
God, the
no,
guy that
Giannetti.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
and thought it was wins it, and then doesn't show up for the second one because thought it was a different weekend. Didn't get the mailer, I
Yeah.
guess.
No, there's definitely some clowns. I mean, that's a good point you bring up. I mean, there's ways that you can work yourself into the Bullet, and there's ways you can work yourself out of being invited to the Bullet, right? Like, I mean, how do you get in the Bullet?
Yeah, you had to really lobby somebody you knew and convince them that you were cool to hang out with. That's basically how you got in. It
Wait,
didn't matter.
When was your first Bullet?
My first Bullet was 1990, so I missed the first two bullets
no.
and then the third
No,
one.
first Bullet. Your first Bullet. Yeah, the first
My
one
first
was
Bullet.
1988.
Yeah,
right.
88 was the first one. So it went Lewis River, and then it went Lewis River first 2 years, right? And then third year we went to
No.
Tokyo.
Yeah,
ahead.
I think it went Lewis.
Oh, Lewis River.
Alderbrook, Tokyo.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But
I don't think Alderbrook was that second year. I go back to the site
You know
and
what?
look
I
up
got
the
her-
first couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it
have
right
no
here.
idea.
No, the second one was Elkhorn. Lewis
Ah,
River,
okay.
Elkhorn, and then Tokyo.
Then Tokyo.
Elkhorn was that 9-hole little course up in the woods that was ranked like the country's best 9-hole course.
Listen to that Rhoda.
How
Oh,
shitty was
Lewis
those
River.
first two?
Corn Tokyo.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy thing about Tokyo is we went into that thinking it was just a one-day scramble, right? I mean, this is really,
Yeah.
in my mind, where the Bullet was born. I mean, it originated those first 2 years, but at Tokyo, our team went out and won it on Saturday, and we, around the campground that night, said, sure, let's play again. How we ever got tee times for like 24 guys the next day is beyond me. But
What was
that's
the
when...
course?
That's when we
Tokyo.
expanded to a 36-hole, a 2-day scramble, which is unheard of. You never hear of 2-day scrambles.
Yeah, and I
What
remember.
was the
So
winning score? You don't hear of 2-day scrambles where the winning score is like -4 either.
Yeah, I
No,
think
we
it
were
was
better
kind
than
of in the,
-4.
I think it was in the 10 to 12 range over 2 days back then.
Oh yeah, 12 to 14
remember right.
over 2 days. You ran away with it. I mean,
So
put
that-
that in comparison. So that was 24 guys, and the best score we could pull out of a 2-day scramble, legit, was 12 to 14 under. But we did have 2 drives per person per 9 holes. Which
And then we also
definitely
had
played a factor.
we also had the half case of beer per person over 18 holes that you had to drink. Remember that? You
we
would
did.
show up
And
and you'd have a case of Coors Light in your car, and each one of you had to drink 12 beers over the 18 holes,
Yeah,
which
our
made getting those
priorities
drives
were-
in pretty tough.
Our priorities, I'm not sure if we had a priority A, B, and C, because it was like a collision of priorities is really what kind of became the bullet.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
when,
So
when,
that
did, when did the EC finally get involved? When was there finally some oversight?
Oh,
Because
the
it did
EC.
get tightened up a little bit.
Yeah, we had, I mean, mostly it was Casey pulling stuff together those first few years, but then and then the other part was you were always trying to figure out, well, what date worked for everyone? But then all of a sudden it was 24, 32 guys playing in this thing. And we had to put a stake in the ground, just the same weekend every year.
Yeah.
But we needed somebody to collect money. So I'd say about the fourth, fifth year, somewhere in there is when the EC was involved. And the EC was just really the original, 8 guys that went to the first one.
Not really.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, it was probably the first. It was probably the 4 or 5 of us that just said, "Let's be EC."
And then
That's when you guys started fleecing the shit out of it too, right?
Oh yeah, throwing a
Was
slush
that-
fund. We put Ward in charge of the collection of the money one year. He spent it all and needed a loan the week before. He was
Yeah, you got a loan
banking
from
on his.
Gamby to be able to pay for it. Gambled it
Yeah,
away.
He was
I thought
banking
you
on
got
his
paid in the nick of time.
banking on his Nike bonus check.
God, that's great. Yeah, that's when the original
Yeah.
skim started to happen.
So
Yeah.
what's the
What a-
bullet to you?
What's that?
What's the bullet to you?
Oh, I agree with Portley. It's kind of a lifestyle, right? Like you got all these good friends, and I mean, I don't go to any event without a bullet story coming up. Like there's always a bullet story, right? I mean, even if you haven't seen some of these guys for a few years, and over the years, we've probably had 150 or so people actually play in the bullet, but there's a core 50 to 70 guys that are mostly there every year. I mean, it's cool to roll in and see everybody and just kind of have the ultimate guys weekend.
You guys see each other, see them all every weekend anyway, don't you?
We do see too many of them too often.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some complaints
Uh,
that it's a little reserve dominant, which it kind of
Yeah,
is.
well-
That's just who we know,
Yeah, I don't see how you avoid that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna go.
Well,
I think my pizza's ready. I'm gonna go on mute for a second.
Well, Portley's getting his pizza. I do know this is our 38th bullet coming up. I don't know if we disclose where we're going to be or not, but then we got the 39th, and we think that should be at Gearhart, which is a fantastic place to host a bullet. And then we think for the 40th, we should go back to Tokatee, but we should invite almost everybody within reason who's ever played in a bullet. Like just blow out the course, And,
That's a good plan.
yeah, I mean, just not, there's few are probably in jail who won't be able to join us, but I mean, for the most part, I think it'd be pretty fun to see everybody who sort of shaped it to become what it is today.
That would. What if everyone showed up?
It'd be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, last week Portley went on a scouting mission back down to Tokatee, and I think Portley. I was just telling Sadie we should invite everybody who's kind of had an influence in making the bullet what it is for the 40th, and take over some lodge or something down there.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, Tokatee is just fantastic, and there's like a, I don't know, little 12, 16 room hotel that's right next to it. There's the different lodges, and then, I think a certain element would probably be up for camping again. But yeah, I think
Are you
I mean,
guys-
the only thing you don't have is, big bars and stuff like that, but who cares? Just for a year.
Exactly. Yeah,
Worked
for
out
one
perfect.
year. Yeah, I guess celebrate when it became a 2-day scramble. When did the
Yeah.
when did actually, what's crazy is we can sit here and have these podcasts, and we all know there's hundreds of stories. We've literally got spreadsheets and spreadsheets we've been collecting of stories. But I mean, what do you think? Some of the episodes that, like, if we over the year, if we did about one of these a week, what were some of the episodes you'd want to hit? Like
I definitely
episode
want to.
ideas.
I'd want to hit like stories from the campfire. You know, for those first 20 years, it was probably 90% campers. I mean, there was a few years where we had 100% of the bullet at the campground. So those were great times until
well, we used to vote on a camper of the year.
Yeah, until Sadie and Baird started ordering strawberries and whipped cream in a hotel room.
Hey man, I will do anything to stay warm and dry.
Yeah, I think the campground's a good one. I think you could do a whole episode just around the draft and what it feels like to sit in the green room and look for your name to be called.
That's some high tension moments there.
Yeah, I think you could do an episode around just people who've gotten lost during the bullet, like they just either wandered off or randomly just drove home, or TJ's little trip down to Florence is probably one of the most epic stories. Or not Florence, he ended up in Coos Bay.
Yeah, so that's a great one. Yeah, so he's driving back from the course and going from the course in Florence to wherever he was staying, and just keeps driving and ends up in North Bend at the Mill Casino. So North Bend is 25 miles south of Florence. No, 50 miles. You got to go through.
It's like an hour.
Yeah. So he shows up at the mill and just happens to see Steve Ball's wife there, who grew up in North Bend, went to North Bend High School. Sees her there, and she's like shocked to see him, and he's like, "Oh, I just kept driving and ended up here." So she gives him a number to her parents' house and says, if you have any problems or whatever, just call my parents' house. I'm staying there. And so, so later on that night, goes back to his room, picks up the phone, and sees that number and calls them and calls her parents and asks for a wake-up call in the morning.
Yeah, he ordered a wake-up call from. Oh my God, that story's priceless.
From his brother's-in-laws.
Yeah, so we could do a story about people who got lost. There's Wade got lost, Lambie got lost, Tosh and Sam Wells got lost. We could do a
Towhead and Sammy could be an episode.
Yeah, we could do an episode just about the evolution of the trophy.
I'm not sure Towhead and Wells got lost. It's lost.
You think that was a Brokeback bullet moment?
It was fishy.
That was Brokeback before Brokeback came out, for sure.
Yeah, definitely suspect. Yeah, there's
the competition within the bullet too, like the country clubbers.
Oh yeah, side competition.
Wasn't there like a river surfing at one time or something?
Well, yeah, there was Wade and Doug running across the river, running up the hill, face planting. Yeah, so we could do a whole episode just on stupid competitions.
Best bullet injuries. There'd be a good one.
Is golf ever a topic for an episode?
Was what?
The golf. Is there anything compelling?
Yeah, there's some pretty great shots. I mean, we've had holes in ones and double eagles and clutch shots. I mean, as you guys know, everyone watching this knows, we've got today it's four drives per person day one and 3 drives per person day two, and that leaves some guys standing, kind of crapping their pants on the 18th.
I've witnessed some meltdowns.
Yeah, total meltdowns.
I think you could do an episode on getting your drives in. Because everybody's got a story of getting their drives in.
Yeah. What about the emotional roller coaster of a bullet? You know, I mean, what does it feel like as a 3 or 4 man when you make a putt, you know, for a birdie?
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be one of the greatest feelings. I mean, you guys
Well,
would know.
that's in the early days. That's all you had, because you never took a shot of yours unless it was a drive. You never took a
Yeah.
shot of a 4-man, especially, I started as not even a handicap, probably a 30-plus handicap, could barely connect. So, making a
Yeah.
5-foot putt was the highlight of my day. That's all I had
Well,
in life.
you know, your putting is, you know, we should bring this up. Obviously, we're 3 out of the 4 people who are on the same team going into the 38th bullet this year. We probably need to get Wade on as a guest, you know, and just throw our little team out there. But yeah, you guys can putt, you can hit greens. You guys are better than you think, I think.
Well, it went from guys that were 8 handicaps were captains, and now, 90% of the field is an 8 handicap or under. I think there's only 2 or 3 double-digit handicaps in the whole thing. The quality of
Yeah.
golf has
Well,
gone through the ceiling.
yeah, I mean, I think it's been nobody wants to show up at a bullet. Years ago, people got to a spot where they didn't want to show up to a bullet and be the worst or be like everybody. It was like this internal competitiveness that just kept moving everybody to become a better golfer. You know, because you just want to show up to hit that one big shot for your team.
The bullet has been very good for the golf club industry. Like clubs,
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's the reason most of us are members at courses somewhere is just for what you just said. You
Yeah.
gotta go play.
Well, and I mean, we've been fans of clubs for a lot of reasons. Black Butte, Lost Tracks. I mean, those guys set record beer sales. You know, it just literally on a Saturday or Sunday. They yeah. I mean,
Do
it's
you
like,
think Alderbrook is proud of their record beer sales?
you know, probably not. But I've just heard story. That place is now called the Mook.
The what?
The Mook,
The
like after
Mook.
Tillamook. And they
Oh,
went in. They built an amazing clubhouse. They flattened out all the fairways so they're smooth. And I guess they did a complete remodel on this place. I literally just heard that this week. They said it's worth going and maybe not for a bullet, but just go give it a shot.
well, go explore it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Why couldn't it be in the Rota?
Yeah. I mean, who are some of the guests we need to have on this show?
I think you have
Oh
some
man,
old school guests. So I think you've got the, definitely get Wade on there. Would be a fantastic one. It'd be fun to get Gamby on the line. Just
Yeah.
for some
I think
just for
Jackie.
some credibility,
I
we
would love to
need
get
Steve
Jack
or
on.
Tim.
We need Jack and Arnie.
Yeah, we refer to them as Jack
Yeah.
and Arnie
Oh, I
in
love
the
it.
whole
Yeah,
don't
for
cost
sure.
anybody their job
Yeah.
situation.
I mean, they were the ones that gave
Yeah.
credibility to the whole thing. Like, you remembered, you were almost kind of like shy. At least I was around Tim and Chris. Just like in awe of those guys,
Yeah. Well, in honor of you sitting at Abby's eating pizza, you were on Chris's team that year, right? And I'll never forget you whiffing that shot. I mean,
No, that
40
was
guys around that tee box.
I was on Tim's team.
Was
Yeah,
that
I
Ocean
didn't.
Dunes?
That was Ocean Dunes.
Oh,
It was
Tim's.
Tim. Yeah, it was me, Tim,
Okay.
Lar, and Hughes, which would be a fantastic team today. Uh,
Oh my gosh.
but yeah,
You guys would run away with it.
I whiffed and I really didn't know what to do. And then I think Tim said, "Pick it up, Portley. We'll get you next time," which is the famous saying. So I picked it up off the tee and put it in my pocket and took a step back.
And you kind of let like 20 guys off the hook right there.
Oh yeah, I mean, what could you do beyond that? There's nothing worse
Because
than whiffing.
I mean that opening tee shot with everyone standing around, there was a little stress attached to that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, lots of stress. Yeah. I mean, if you just 40 guys, right? Eyeballs
Yeah.
all over you. Yeah.
God,
Be the first
the
shot of the
relief
bullet.
of getting that. Yeah, the relief of getting that fourth drive in on Saturday was overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of the other people we got to get on as guests. We got to get Ward on here. He could tell us how
Oh,
he
for
ordered,
sure.
how he secret. I want to hear the story on how he secretly ordered the scallops during the Calcutta. Um,
That's a
I
good
think
one.
we need to get Casey. We get Casey on here. We could debate the who actually named the bullet.
Oh,
It was his idea to have the tournament, but there's still a debate as to who actually named it. We should get
I want,
Holzgang on here telling us the story about the guy who stepped behind a tree and fell down a 20-foot cliff, and
that's a good one.
Oh God.
I
that's
want to
not
get
good.
bullshit.
Casey. I want to get Casey on here when he's just in a foul mood, and just an hour's worth of just Casey bitter at the
We could
world.
book him for a
Oh,
5-minute episode, and
what about Tosh
oh,
Oh,
Tosh's
Tosh is a good
rants.
one.
and the spewing hate episode? I mean, I was riding around in the cart with him that weekend. It was fantastic.
Yeah, the whitefish
You
toast
know,
is a great one.
I've got that
Third
whole
hole of the
meltdown
bullet.
on. I've got that whole meltdown on video, Sade, and when we do that story, if you can somehow edit it into the episode, we need to learn those skills.
Oh, I got that skill.
Okay, good.
We can show highlights. We can break
Yeah.
it down.
We got to get Lars' story. Lars' first bullet's pretty funny when he rolled up and said hello to, I think it was you, Sadie.
It was
He
me.
was like, oh, yeah, welcome, but the bullet's dead. He's like, what? I just got here.
Yeah, that's a great
Lar
one.
was
Um,
Lar was awesome.
and it'd be great to
With
get a
his
couple
fire.
of like a I would love. It probably wouldn't happen, but I would love to get Berger and Ward telling a story together. It would be fantastic.
Yeah. And then I think, we could have a whole episode on the celebrities of the bullet. The ones Dave DP trolled in or somebody trolled him in.
There's been a few.
Yeah, we've got, yeah.
There's
In a few
brushes with the
weeks,
law.
I think our goal with this, Portley, the timing, just the last couple episodes, we'll release maybe like four. Let's try to get 4 or 5 episodes before the bullet, kind of leading up to it. But I think we got to get 2 of those episodes dedicated to Portley's picks.
I think we got to do that in about 2 weeks, don't you?
Yeah.
Should we do a vocal, like a read out loud, Portley's picks?
Yes.
Like
100%.
Stephen King narrating one of his books.
You'll read it,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
then Sadie and I'll ask you a few questions about it for clarification.
We'll grade you on that.
Yeah, we'll grade it.
I
we're going,
need that kind of deadline pressure.
Kind of figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could,
I think-
we need to bring Tangvald on and let him tell the story about his first ace. He had the first ace of the bullet.
Yeah, I was right behind him. The Banana Dick 3-wood from about 170 out, and he just
How many?
he loops at about 220 yards on a 170-yard shot, and and makes it. I think another great one would be TJ Millbrook getting hit in the nose by Fedler on a 200-yard approach.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bloodbath.
Well, Fed.
Yeah.
How many? So that was the last hole. Then it went to a playoff, right? And
Yeah.
I think Fed
That's
got
when
sent to the next hole.
That's when Carmichael
Might have
and
been-
Gamby melted down.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just remember Fed was just like on a heater where he was hitting everybody with golf balls.
Yeah.
TJ
Well,
took it right in the nose.
yeah, I'd say almost probably 50%. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like almost about 50% of the bullets have gone extra holes. The very
Really?
first bullet, we could do an episode just on the great extra hole adventures. You remember when Tim Cooper, snapped Jack's driver?
We can edit that. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah. People are going to think his name's Jack.
You know
Yeah,
what? Too.
so-
This will appear on our website, so I'm sure we'll get some suggestions for stories too. I mean, we can tease a bullet book that may or may not get written. One time we at least have a first chapter we could share highlights from.
Like that.
Well, uh, you know, we also need to talk about this whole countryclubber.com because if we actually get this right, this thing could expand beyond the bullet. We could sell a couple after golf pieces of gear on that site and eventually sell a book.
Yeah, I'd like to get something for my $59 a year to maintain that thing.
Yeah. But we could create Country Clubber Productions, brings you bullet chat.
And apparel.
Yeah, we need a logo. Portley, you can draft up a logo for that Country Clubber.
Here.
I'm a terrible artist.
Sadie's on it.
Yeah, I got it.
Sadie's
I'll
on
have
it
it in a few minutes.
What about an episode on cheating? We could talk about how much cheating there's gone on at the Bullet. Not much, but I know of a couple stories.
Does that get into the first two tenets of don't embarrass somebody and don't? I would, if I was a hiring manager at a company, I would fire a guy for cheating.
Well, let's call it rule stretching. I mean, there was just a ball that was on the. There was a ball in the fourth bullet that was on the left side of a fence in a cow pasture, but it wasn't marked OB. It wasn't a white fence, and there were guys jumping. Yeah, so
it wasn't on the scorecard.
Yeah, didn't sprint it,
None of us got hurt climbing that fence. I mean, it seems fine to me still.
I remember.
Shouldn't call.
I remember being on a team where Holes, where Holes walks on the green and does the backhanded tap of a putt just at the hole, and it goes in, and he calls it in, and we marched on to the next hole. Yeah.
Yeah, but those were in the early days. Those were in the early days when you were also required to have that short case of beer, and not everybody was making great decisions.
Well,
that's very true.
There's a lot of money in that Calcutta now. I mean,
yeah, that shit doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Well, everybody's matured. We were used to be a bunch of baseball players trying to golf, but now we've become golfers who respect the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Defending.
There's a lot of still there is till today the built-up mounds and in the middle of the fairway. Having your foreman just dig his club as far in the ground as you possibly can, and then build a nice little tee after that. Yeah, exactly.
Tee up a driver on those par four. Well, that's when you saw Arnie or Jack do something, you felt like you had a little leeway to go try it yourself.
Exactly. That's why I didn't argue with Holes. It's just he's a captain. I'm just a 30 handicapped foreman along for the ride.
It's hard to question authority. You just didn't do it in the early days.
Yeah. We should have Crum in to tell us a story about just what it's like to. I mean, as we know, the EC's gone from 5 people down to 1, and we got to get his perspective on what it takes to run a bullet.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. And then I think we got to get Willie in as defending champ. He tells a good story, and then that could, help us rip on him and his team for their scorekeeping the last couple, or not the last couple, but the last year's scorekeeping.
Yeah, I like it. And then I also another episode could
last year.
It's always questionable.
The scorekeeping? How hard is the scorekeeping?
It's hard, Mike.
It doesn't seem hard, but apparently loading it in Golf Genius is difficult.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I see.
We could do an episode just called After Hours at the Bullet. When you probably should go home, just have a beer on the deck and chill out. Where do half these clowns end up?
Yeah, we could do an episode on Renner alone, probably. Between
sure. Well, I was just gonna say we could do an episode just on first responders. I mean, both police and medical and fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our tribute to first responders.
there's been a couple.
Would that episode include Shep's silent treatment?
Oh,
That
absolutely.
it would. It would include Grenzer wrecking cars. That would be on there for sure.
It would include the ambulance that showed up at that. What's the place in Sisters?
Hardtails. Yeah, Renner passing out on the table at Hardtails.
Passed out.
That'd be a good
Well,
one.
that wasn't a pass. In his defense, that wasn't a pass out. It was some flimsy little table they put a water jug on. He leaned on it, and the whole table exploded.
Wasn't that after he passed? I think that's two separate things.
Yeah, they're separate. He asked out
Yeah.
like 4 bullets in a row.
Yeah,
Ask
definitely
Sipple.
did.
Sipple.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could talk about some of the one and doneers, people who showed up once and never came back to a bullet.
Who is that caller up dude? Cam, what's his name? Cam something
Cam
or
Martin.
another. Was it Cam Martin? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was just total country clubber kind of dude.
Yeah.
You know, it would be a great guess.
Like, if we could find one of the head pros at a place that really didn't like us much to talk about why.
No, they all love us now. Those head pros in the years that they didn't like it, they're probably all retired or gone. You know who we should get on is Jeff Fote. That guy at Black Butte loves us.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's
still,
what Tim and Chris used
I mean,
to give
why
us
did you
that
love
credibility
it?
at courses too. You know.
Yeah, they opened up doors that otherwise we would never
Yeah.
have walked through.
Yeah, I remember Black Butte. Tim would show up, or Chris would walk in, and they'd be, on their knees, bowing at him, and it gave us all a little credibility. We don't have that anymore, though. I don't think
Yeah.
nobody famous
right, well-
anymore.
How long should
Oh,
we
we got
run these?
momentum.
How long should we run these little chats?
About this long.
Okay.
It's a good
Well,
place to
maybe
start at the beginning.
and then maybe we just kind of rotate around, and each guy tells a full story or something like that.
For sure.
Kind of go from there. Yeah, I like it. Hey, are we going to be seeing video on these things, or is it just audio?
That's why we named this particular episode "We Found Portley."
Yeah, and I like it. Love it.
Well, yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Wait,
till
how
next
do we
time.
end this? Just peace. All right, till
Yeah.
next
Yeah,
time.
peace out. Yeah.
Oh, we
It's
do
like
need-
ending.
hold on, we
It's
need
like
a
ending a
catchphrase.
Zoom call.
We need some stupid thing.
Yeah, we need some stupid
Let's
bullet
just
saying or something
sign
like
off.
that. How about get better
and a
is our sign off.
Get better.
Everybody
you can't
get better.
If you can't get better, rake it.
Yeah, exactly. All
All
right.
right. Let's rake it. See ya.
Get better in the next
Later.
week. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.